How's it going? Welcome back out today. Today we're going to be doing a ammo test with 308. So we've got Nosler 165 grain and Hornady 168 grain. 168 grain is like kind of the sweet spot, at least that my rifle likes. So we're going to test those out today and see what we can get. See which one can get the best accuracy. I'll do a quick zero just to make sure we're zeroed and good to go. And then we'll see what can do the better group. So we'll probably shoot all the Hornady on one side and shoot Nosler on the other and see what we get. So I've done some of these in the past, especially with like Federal. That's usually what I always like to shoot. It's reasonably priced for what you get. But we're going to try a couple different ones today and see what we can get. All right, so the rifle we're going to be using today, this is my M5E1 build, 308. We've got Aero Precision, upper and lower handguard. We've got a Wilson Combat bolt carrier group in there. Ballistic Advantage barrel. Up top we've got the Nightforce optic. It's a 2.5 to 20 by 50. It's been a blast. On the muzzle down there we've got a OSS adapter for the suppressor that I run on here. We're not shooting suppress today, so we've just got the OSS muzzle brake. We've got a Mapgul PRS Stock, and that's about it. This gun was a blast to build. It took a while to get the FDE parts in stock, but it was definitely worth the wait. And then again, the optic on here, this Nightforce, has been extremely high quality. It's been a blast. I love it. So again, it's 2.5 to 50, so I mean, it's really not bad shooting up close with it. And then it's crystal clear. Absolutely love it. So first we're going to be shooting our Nosler, and then we'll shoot our Hornady. So we'll get these loaded up and see what kind of comparisons we can get. Alright, so we've got some Nosler loaded up, and we'll get a group up there and see how it looks. So we've got our first group up there. We'll get a couple more groups on there, and then we'll go down and take a look at them. All right, so the first two groups are both 3-shot groups. Those will be the top 2 left squares. Now we'll move down a little bit and we'll do a 5-shot group. All right, there's our 5-shot group. All right, so we've got 5 more rounds of the Nosler, so we'll get this loaded up, and we'll get one last final good group with this. All right, so that was our final 5-shot group. That one actually looked pretty good. We all 4 are pretty close. We got one that is a little high to the left. Might be closer than we think. Obviously, it's hard to tell. And again, if I didn't say it before, we're at 100 yards right now doing this test. So we've shot all of our Nosler ammunition. So let's go down and take a peek, see what we got. All right, so to start the day, we had 2 groups of 3. So that's this group right here and this group right here. So those are a little more spread out than I would like. Moving on down, we did 2 groups of 5. So our first one's going to be right here. We have one that just got away a little bit right there, and then our other one right here. We've got 4 in the orange, and then one that just got away a little bit there. This was actually our first shot, and the other 4 grouped up quite well. So I am happy with those groups. So now we will go ahead and shoot these targets down this side, and we'll see how the Hornady compares to the Nosler. All right, so we've shot all of our Nosler rounds. Now we've got our Hornady ELD match, 168 grain. So we'll shoot up the other targets and we'll see how these two stand up against each other. All right, there's group 1. So far, I'll just give you a heads up. That one, I'm not very impressed with. All right, that's our 2 groups of 3. So just as we did with Nosler, now we'll get 2 groups of 5. All right, there's our 5. We got 1 more group of 5 to go. All right, so our final group we're gonna put in the big circle right in the chest on this target. Yeah, that'll be our final 5 rounds for Hornady, and then we'll go compare our groups. Alrighty. Alright, so actually what I'm doing now is when I started, I used 4 rounds of the Nosler to confirm my 0. That's on a separate target. But I want to give this Hornady a fighting chance because so far the groups aren't close in comparison. The grain weights are only 3 grains off, 165 and 168 grain. These Noslers are ballistic tips, and so are the Hornadys. But the difference is there's a big difference. I'm not quite sure why we're getting such a big difference here. So we'll send these last 4 down, and then we'll go look at them. All right, there's our final 4 shots with the Hornady. Let's go down. Let's take a look at these. All right, so before we go any further, I do just want to clarify these results are basically just a comparison for this ammo out of my rifle. So this doesn't mean that these are going to perform the same in your rifle. It all depends on what barrel you have, the twist rate, barrel length, things like that. So again, this is just the comparison for my rifle. A Ballistic Advantage, they're a pretty popular barrel maker. They also make Aero Precisions barrels, things like that. So and they're also pretty price friendly. So there's probably a lot of people that have Ballistic Advantage barrels. So I was hoping this might shed some light at least if that's what you're running. All right, so for starters, our first 3 shots, we had one right here, and our third one is actually one of these 2 right here. So there's 2 shots right there. They were not the same group, so one of these shots goes up here. So that's a pretty large group. All right, so our second group is on the bottom here. So you have one right here, one right here, one right here. So still a little wider than I'd want, but not as bad as the first one. So that one's okay. If you can't see the one in the dark there, it's right there next to that white line. So 1, 2, and 3 there. Moving back up, we had a group of 5 right here. So again, one of these was from the first group. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So for size comparison, there's the size of the head, and then there's the size of the circle. So again, it's probably not as terrible as I'm making it seem. Like, you're not gonna, you know, if you're hunting with this, you're not gonna miss what you're hitting. We're talking, you know, a game of inches here. So again, there's our group of 5 right there. Next down, our group of 5, we shot for the middle. That would be good if there was a 5th round on one of these holes, but our 5th round is actually down here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 down there. So again, there's always one. I would like this group to be a little closer. And since we did have 4 rounds left over, we did shoot a final group of 4 down here. We've got 2 right next to each other there, 1 right there, and then we've got 1 that's out here to the left. So, all right, so as far as our test today, Nosler, I think, is going to take it on this one. Had a little bit more accuracy out of that. Groups are a little better. Started off a little crazy, but the 2 5-shot groups that we had grouped up a lot nicer than the Hornady did. And again, that doesn't mean Hornady is not going to shoot well out of your rifle. It just means it didn't shoot as well out of mine with that specific barrel, that barrel length, and things like that. So the Nosler is going to take it. Now, it's actually not the most accurate round that we've tested so far. Federal's still going to take it in that category. The 168 and the 175 both performed a little better. So those are probably still the crowns, at least for this rifle. So still looking for other ones to test. It's always fun to come out here and test and see what you can get. So I haven't shot my rifle in a while. I've been doing a lot more pistol training, doing some competitions, having fun, stuff like that. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if there's any other rounds that you'd like to see tested out. Maybe we can test them up against the old Federal 168 or 175 and see how they stack up. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Oh hey, if you're still here, you get to see the surprise. This is the Zenith ZF5, or the American MP5. Video coming soon. I've always wanted one of these, and today's the day I get to do the MP5 slap. Beautiful.